Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to What the Fuck News. My name is Destry and I have something to tell you. I'm afraid the rumors are true. I do put pineapples on my pizza. I know, I'm a monster. Don't judge me! This is What the Fuck News, where we talk about the shit crazy news that you might have missed in the last couple of weeks. And the first thing that I have to talk about today is the whole Austin Jones story. I fucking hate this. And yes, I'm sure you've heard the story a trillion times now, but we're talking about this because this show is called What the Fuck News, and if this story doesn't have the most amount of what the fuck in it, I don't know what does. And I would love not to talk about this story, but for the safety and sake of you guys out there, you know, people online, I have to talk about it. Also, if you have heard this story before and you're just sick to your stomach from hearing about it, because I personally fucking am, you can skip forward to this time code right here to skip this entire story. Fucking okay. So if you haven't heard this story before, it involves a YouTuber by the name of Austin Jones, or as I like to call him, swoopy-haired Jared Fogle Jr., and him facing up to 30 years in jail for 2 counts of producing child porn. And as if that wasn't bad enough, the most fucked up thing isn't so much the fact that the victims were 14 when he was 23, but more so about how he went about getting them and the context of what was said. So if you're not familiar with Austin Jones, he was a YouTuber who made music videos, they'd get millions and millions of views, and as such, he had a ton of female followers. Apparently, he would talk to some of his fans through Facebook and ask girls to prove that they were his biggest fan by sending him sexual videos. In the chats, he would tell the girls what to do, say, and wear specific things, and this is where it gets the most fucked up. He asks the first girl to send him a video of her twerking while at the same time talking about how young she is in the video, making the girls say, "I'm only 14, this ass is only 14. And apparently with some of the girls that he was talking to, they didn't know how to twerk for him, so good old Austin made them a video to teach them how to twerk. And it is the most disturbing thing to watch when you think about the context of what this video is being used for.
So this is like the first basic twerk move. You stand with your legs apart, you bend your legs, and then you arch your back, and you unarch it. You do it faster, so it's like that. Now it's your turn.
Dude, like what the fuck? If you can believe it, his chats with the second victim got even worse. He asked her to make a video for him where she stated that she is his biggest fan but didn't want to get in any trouble. Where Austin then said, "I guess you really aren't my biggest fan then." That's where she agreed to do what he wanted, where he went on to say, "Bounce again and smile at the camera while you bounce. And while you bounce, say, 'I'm only 14' 3 times throughout the video. Instead of clapping them, how about just spread your cheeks for 10 seconds. Your wedgie has to be good enough so that when you spread your cheeks, it shows the edges of your butthole." Oh my god, that would be so funny. You know, I was just watching Parks and Recreation recently and thinking about how funny it was, and remarking to myself just how similar that is to a girl showing me the edges of her butthole. I bet you had no idea when you met me that just one day later you'd get to show me your butthole. How special do you feel? Do you know how to flex your butthole? I have to see your butthole to know you care 100%. I'm sorry, it's not funny. It's really not, but like, what the fuck? I have to see your butthole to know you care? What? I'm gonna use that line on my girlfriend later and see just how well that goes for me. Babe, show me your butthole. No! But babe, I have to see your butthole to know you care. Where are you going? Don't you pack up and leave? And I don't even really know what to say at this point. Like, I'm hurt because I'm thinking about the people that he put through this. It puts a bad mark on every fucking YouTuber's name now. It makes my fucking head spin and it makes me want to throw shit. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna throw something. Yeah. I don't feel any better. So yes, as I mentioned, I really didn't want to talk about this story, but I felt like it was necessary, you know, in case there is anyone out there that's going through something like this. Because you also gotta remember, these are just 2 of the girls that came forward about what he said. These aren't all of them. And there's a lot more details to the story that I didn't cover, so if you want to see any and all of that stuff, I will link a video in the description of a Philip DeFranco video where he covers basically everything he said. But if you or someone you know out there is going through something like this, just know that you can say no, you can talk to someone about it, because people like Austin Jones exist and will always exist and will continue to hurt people until they're stopped. And I'm not saying that I'm an angel, I've made plenty of mistakes myself, but for Austin Jones and people like Austin Jones, may you forever have a gargoyle fist in your pee hole. May you be bitten on the perineum by a large rattlesnake. And also, if you don't know what a perineum is, please look it up. Just fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, dude. But also, as a recent update to the story, Austin was recently released on bail, but as an agreement, he can't go on the internet until his court date, which prosecutors believe is a slam dunk since he waived his Miranda rights and admitted to everything. So, get wrecked, fucker. Oh, and Austin, it's a good thing you made those twerking tutorials because they're gonna come really handy in jail. The inmates will love it. Gotta keep that butthole spread open for a good 30 years, buddy. Anyways, now on to some actual what the fuck news. Actor Johnny Depp has been under some fire this last week after some some comments he made about President Trump at a film festival in the UK where he said,
a lot of wonderful dark places he could go. A lot of Doc Martens in the... It's just a question. I'm not insinuating anything. By the way, this is going to be in the press. It'll be horrible. When was the last time an actor assassinated a president? I want to clarify, I'm not an actor. I lie for a living.
And not surprisingly, people are really pissed off about it. I think my favorite part about this video is his face, like 2 seconds after he says it, just screams, oh fuck. So a lot of people were pissed off about this, calling for Johnny Depp to retire, that he was disgusting. But even more surprising is the amount of people that stood up for him, saying that was obviously a joke in poor taste. He later goes on to apologize for it and said, I apologize for the bad joke I attempted last night in poor taste about President Trump. It did not come out as intended, and I intended no malice. I was only trying to amuse, not to harm anyone, savvy. I added the savvy in there because I felt like it needed it.
I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. Savvy.
But since this, a ton of people have urged the authorities to arrest Depp on the grounds of the Patriot Act and send him to prison. But let's not forget, guys, he spent a long time in Davy Jones' locker. That has to count for something. But also, this isn't the first time that a celebrity has spoken out against Trump. Jim Carrey said he wanted to hit Trump in the face with a golf club. Robert De Niro said he wanted to punch Trump in the face. Marilyn Manson said he wanted to cut off his head and sacrifice him to Satan.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
And while I myself am a huge Johnny Depp fan and could pretty much watch Edward Scissorhands every fucking day until I die and die happy, I do think that him and celebrities in general need to be held accountable for what they say because, yeah, while I don't think that Johnny Depp is gonna march to Washington and kill anyone and that it was obviously a joke, celebrities do have a huge audience that could do something like that, you know, that maybe don't think that it was a joke. Like, I myself have probably heard at least 15 different people talk about ways that they would mutilate Trump, including my own mother. Sorry, Mom, I love you, but is my mom actually going to go and shoot him in the nostril and then force him to be the middle part of a human centipede? No. So yeah, I do think that people are entitled to free speech, of course, but someone with his influence maybe shouldn't be saying that. Also, so far, Trump has not responded to this incident, which is surprising because he makes an angry tweet about literally everything. My steak was cold at Outback. Disgusting. Horrible. Sex with my wife yesterday left me with disappointment. Outrage. Words. I sincerely apologize for that terrible Trump accent. I can't do it. The only thing I can do is his face. No, that just looks like the face that I make after I have Taco Bell and I'm on the toilet. But someone who did respond was Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump, who said, hey, Johnny Depp, why don't you go back to making movies? Stay out of politics. What? If that was supposed to be a comeback, that was terrible. Go back to making movies. Okay, I will. That would be the equivalent if someone was like, hey, Dustry, you're a loser. Oh, screw off, Steve. Why don't you go back to having sex with gorgeous women and having a lot of money? Oh, okay. Yeah, take that, you jerkhead. Plus, I feel like if Johnny Depp ever was on trial for this, I'm pretty sure he could just act entirely insane and just get away with it. Like, Doritos found under the toilet seat make it easier to knit sweaters out of plastic for small black orphans. What? Caution, minced dolphin cock is not a suitable gift for Daenerys Targaryen. What are you saying? Your breath smells like peaches and death laced with tiny bits of teenage mongoose children. What the fuck does that have to do with? The skeleton could not finish his protein shake as the people over there suffer from disgusting diarrhea turtleneck sandwich disorder. Okay, Your Honor, I'm pretty sure we can't hold this guy accountable for anything he said. He's literally insane. Since we've been talking, he's been putting refried beans on his nipples while trying to solicit them for sex with Monopoly money. Now he's smoking and playing Zelda Breath of the Wild in the middle of this court hearing. Who let him have that? I'm sorry, I'm hecka close to getting the Master Sword though. And finally, in some video game news is everything that happened at E3. So if you're not sure what E3 is, it's basically a convention that happens every year where they talk about the new upcoming games, upcoming systems. And I'm talking about this today because I am a giant nerd and I have nowhere else to talk about it. So fucking deal with it. So apart from the great games lineup I'm about to mention, E3 this year was kind of a disaster, the likes of which are on par with sex slavery. The amount of things from E3 this year that'll make you cringe is ridiculous.
So what have you brought with you?
Well,
What did you bring?
this is a life-size replica of one of the weapons from this game.
Wow.
So I am here to talk about Need for Speed Payback. I got my boy Marcus, executive producer here. He is the producer of the game. Thank you, Nick, for having me.
Hey man, thanks Jesse.
Oh god. It's like they tried to hire people to talk that don't know how to be cool. Gee Willikers, doesn't that game look gnarly, bro? I sure think so. Yeah! Thanks for your question, Dogman. And yes, there is gonna be multiplayer. Yeah! But besides all that, there was a ton of new games announced this year at E3. So first off, Nintendo announced that there is going to be a Pokemon game coming out soon for the Nintendo Switch. As a Pokemon fan since Blue, all I can really say is, it's about fucking time! Fuck! So right now, there's very little detail about what the game is or what it might look like, but I am beyond excited for it. They also announced the release of Super Mario Odyssey, which either looks amazing or really dumb. I'm not sure yet. Next was the announcement of the DLC for Dishonored 2 Death of the Outsider, which looks amazing. If you haven't played Dishonored, change that now. Also, there was the announcement from EA that Star Wars Battlefront 2 is coming out, and fuck yes, Darth Maul. The original Star Wars Battlefront 2 was one of the only games I had when I was younger, so fuck yes. Then there was a trailer for Assassin's Creed Origins, which I read a second ago as Assassin's Creed Oranges. I was like, that's not right. And I've never really been a fan of the Assassin's Creed games, but the fact that this is set in ancient Egypt really makes me want to play it. Next was the news that Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out, which looks amazing. Shadow of the Colossus, which is another really great PS2 game, is getting an HD remake or sequel. And finally, Ni no Kuni 2, which is coming out in November, which has caused my nerd boner to explode and rain down. Oh my god, that sounds terrible. How about we stop talking about your boner raining, Destry? That sounds great. But I'm just so excited for the upcoming years of video games that if you want to see any of the games that I've talked about, the links will be in the description down below. But that is it for this episode of What the Fuck News. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to give this video a like and favorite it, and also subscribe to this channel as there will be more all the fucking time, bro. Yo, my dudes, there are gonna be so many videos, yeah. I somehow sound better than an E3 announcer. I don't know how that's possible. My question of the day for you guys is, what are your thoughts on the whole Austin Jones story? Do you think he should be in prison for a long time, or do you think he should be in prison for a long time? Let me know in the comments down below. Also guys, it'd mean a lot to me if you went and checked out my Patreon. It is patreon.com/CaptainDestes. I'm doing some really cool things on there reward-wise, so if you want to check that out, the link will be in the description down below. With that said guys, I will see you next time for another What the Fuck News. Thanks for watching, and fair winds.